I was walking down the street, lost in thought, when I stumbled upon a small, run-down cafe. I had never seen it before, and something about it drew me in. As I pushed open the creaky door, a bell above it rang out, and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled my senses. The cafe was dimly lit, with only a few patrons scattered about, each absorbed in their own world. I took a seat at the counter, next to a young woman who looked like she was struggling to keep her eyes open. She introduced herself as Sarah, and we started chatting. As we talked, I learned that Sarah was a hardworking single mom trying to make ends meet. She worked 2 jobs, but despite her best efforts, she was barely scraping by. Her eyes lit up when she started talking about her dream of owning a house, a place where her kids could grow up with a backyard to play in, and a sense of stability. She spoke about the countless nights she spent browsing real estate websites, dreaming of the perfect home, but it seemed like an impossible feat. The rent was too high, and the deposit was too steep. I listened intently, my heart going out to this stranger who had poured her heart out to me. There was something about her story that resonated deep within me. Maybe it was the sincerity in her voice or the desperation in her eyes, but I felt a pang of empathy. I, too, had known what it was like to struggle, to feel like the odds were stacked against me. As I listened to Sarah's story, I felt a spark of kindness ignite within me. I wanted to help this stranger to make a difference in her life. But how? I sat there lost in thought as the cafe's background noise faded away, and all that was left was the sound of Sarah's hopeful voice, echoing in my mind. What could I possibly do to help this stranger achieve her dream? I still remember the day I met that stranger like it was yesterday. Their story had a profound impact on me, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that I had to do something to help. As I reflected on our conversation, I found myself thinking about the stranger's dream house. They had described it to me in such vivid detail: the big backyard, the white picket fence, the cozy porch. It sounded like the perfect place to call home. As I sat in my office, staring out the window, I made a life-changing decision. I would buy that stranger's dream house for them. I know it sounds crazy, but I just felt like it was the right thing to do. I had been blessed with wealth and success, and I wanted to use it to make a positive impact on someone's life. I started making arrangements for the purchase, trying to be as discreet as possible. I didn't want the stranger to find out about my plan just yet. I wanted it to be a surprise, something that would bring a big smile to their face. I contacted a real estate agent and asked them to look into the property. I also spoke with my lawyer, making sure that everything was in order and that the transaction would go smoothly. The location of the dream house was a beautiful suburban area, surrounded by trees and a quiet neighborhood. I could imagine the stranger living there, enjoying the peace and tranquility of the area. I felt a sense of excitement and anticipation, knowing that I was about to change this person's life in a big way. As I delved deeper into the process, I couldn't help but think about the concept of selflessness. Why was I doing this? What drove me to want to help a complete stranger? I realized that it was because I believed that we all have the power to make a difference in someone's life. We just have to be willing to take that first step. Now I just had to wait and see how everything would play out. The stranger was still unaware of my plan, and I was eager to see their reaction when they found out. Would they be shocked? Overjoyed? I couldn't wait to find out. I'll never forget the days that followed my decision to buy that stranger's dream house. As I progressed with the purchase, I had to keep it a secret from them, which was no easy task. I found myself working closely with real estate agents and lawyers, trying to finalize all the details without raising any suspicions. These professionals were essential in helping me navigate the complex process of purchasing a house, and I was grateful for their expertise. The real estate agents were instrumental in handling the paperwork and ensuring that the transaction was smooth and efficient. They would often meet with me at the house, discussing everything from the price to the condition of the property. I remember walking through the empty rooms, imagining how the stranger would feel when they finally got to own it. The lawyers, on the other hand, were responsible for reviewing the contracts and making sure that everything was in order. They would explain the finer points of the agreement, making sure I understood my obligations as the buyer. Meanwhile, the stranger remained completely oblivious to my intentions. They would go about their daily life, never once suspecting that their dream house was being purchased by a millionaire. I would often think about how they would react when they finally found out. Would they be shocked? Overjoyed? I couldn't help but anticipate their response, wondering how they would feel when they discovered that their dream had finally come true. As the days turned into weeks, The anticipation built up inside me. I could hardly wait to see the look on the stranger's face when they found out that I had bought their dream house. What would they say? How would they react? The uncertainty was exhilarating, and I found myself looking forward to the moment when I could finally reveal the truth. But for now, the secret had to remain just that, a secret. The question was, how long could I keep it under wraps? What will happen when the stranger finally discovers the truth? I still remember the day I walked into that meeting room, my mind racing with all sorts of possibilities. The millionaire had invited me to a meeting, but he hadn't given me any details about what it was for. As I entered the room, I saw him sitting there with a big smile on his face, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of curiosity. The room was nicely decorated, with a big wooden table in the center and a few chairs around it. The walls were painted a nice shade of blue, and there were a few plants scattered around the room. It was a pretty relaxed atmosphere, but I could sense that something important was about to happen. The millionaire stood up and greeted me, his handshake firm and confident. "Thank you for coming," he said, his voice warm and friendly. "I wanted to talk to you about something that I think will change your life." I sat down, my heart beating a bit faster with anticipation. What could he possibly want to talk to me about? I had no idea, but I was about to find out. The millionaire took a deep breath and began to speak. "I've been thinking a lot about my life and my wealth," he said, "and I've come to realize that I want to use my resources to make a positive impact on the world. I've been looking for someone who deserves a break, someone who has been working hard but hasn't had the opportunities they deserve." He paused, looking at me with a serious expression. "And then I met you," he said. "I heard your story and I was touched by your determination and your passion. I wanted to do something to help you, to give you the opportunity you deserve." I was starting to feel a sense of confusion, mixed with a bit of excitement. What was he talking about? What opportunity could he possibly be referring to? And then he dropped the bombshell. "I've bought your dream house," he said, a big smile spreading across his face. "The one you've been wanting for years, the one you thought was out of your reach. It's yours now, free and clear." I was stunned, shocked, disbelieving. I couldn't process what I was hearing. The millionaire had bought my dream house. It couldn't be true. I must be dreaming, I thought, but the millionaire just kept smiling, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "It's true," he said. "The house is yours. You can move in whenever you want." I sat there, my mind reeling with emotions. I was shocked, grateful, and overwhelmed all at once. I didn't know what to say or do. All I could do was sit there, trying to process the incredible news I had just heard. And then, something inside of me clicked. I felt a sense of joy and excitement, mixed with a deep sense of gratitude. I looked at the millionaire, my eyes filling with tears. "Thank you," I said, my voice shaking with emotion. "Thank you so much." The millionaire just smiled and nodded, his eyes shining with happiness. "You're welcome," he said. "You deserve it." As I sat in my small apartment, staring at the paperwork that would change my life forever, I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. The initial shock had started to wear off, and reality was slowly sinking in. I was going to be the owner of a house that I had only dreamed of, a house that a millionaire had bought for me out of the blue. It was surreal, to say the least. As the news began to process in my mind, I started to envision my new life in this dream house. I pictured myself waking up every morning in a spacious bedroom with large windows that let in plenty of natural light, walking out into a beautifully manicured garden, and having a backyard where I could host barbecues and gatherings for my friends and family. The thought of having a place to call my own, a place where I could create memories and build a life, was overwhelming. The millionaire, who had become a sort of guardian angel to me, offered his support and guidance throughout this transition. He introduced me to his team of experts who would help me with the paperwork, the move, and even the interior design of the house. He reassured me that I wasn't alone in this journey and that he would be there to support me every step of the way. With his help, I started to make plans for my future. I began to think about the kind of life I wanted to lead, the kind of career I wanted to pursue, and the kind of relationships I wanted to nurture. I felt a sense of freedom and possibility that I had never felt before. The idea of new beginnings and fresh starts was thrilling, and I was excited to see where this new chapter in my life would take me. As I looked around my small apartment, I knew that it was time to start letting go of the past and embracing the future. I was ready to leave behind the struggles and the hardships and start building a life that I loved. The dream house was more than just a material possession. It was a symbol of hope and a reminder that sometimes good things can happen to good people. But as I stood there, basking in the excitement of my new beginning, I couldn't shake off the feeling that there were challenges ahead. What would it be like to settle into a new life, to adjust to a new routine, and to navigate the responsibilities that came with owning a house? What kind of challenges would I face, and how would I overcome them? Only time would tell, but for now, I was ready to take the leap and see where this new journey would take me. I still remember the day I walked into my new home, feeling like I was on top of the world. The millionaire's generosity had given me a second chance at life, and I was determined to make the most of it. But as I started to settle in, I quickly realized that things wouldn't be as easy as I thought. The house, although beautiful, was a lot to handle. The upkeep, the maintenance, the sheer size of it was overwhelming at times. I faced adjustments and setbacks, like learning to navigate the complex systems of the house, from the security cameras to the smart home devices. There were times when I felt like I was in way over my head, and I didn't know how I was going to make it work. But the millionaire, true to his word, continued to offer his support. He would check in on me regularly, offering words of encouragement and advice when I needed it. As time went on, I started to learn how to navigate my new circumstances. I learned how to prioritize, how to manage my time, and how to overcome the obstacles that came my way. I discovered that I was capable of so much more than I thought I was, and that gave me a sense of confidence and self-worth that I had never felt before. The concept of resilience and adaptability became my guiding principle, and I learned to approach each challenge with a newfound sense of determination and grit. Despite the challenges, I was grateful for the opportunity to start anew. I was grateful for the millionaire's kindness and generosity, and I was determined to make him proud. As I looked to the future, I couldn't help but wonder how my relationship with the millionaire would evolve over time. Would we remain close, or would we drift apart? Only time would tell, but for now, I was just grateful to be on this journey and to have him by my side. As I look back on the time that has passed since I bought that stranger's dream house, I am still in awe of how our lives became so intimately connected. The stranger, who I had never met before, is now one of my closest friends. We talk every day, sharing our thoughts, feelings, and experiences with each other. I have never felt such a strong bond with someone before, and it's amazing to think that it all started with a simple act of kindness. The stranger is incredibly grateful for what I did, and they never hesitate to express their thanks. They have told me countless times how my gift has changed their life, and how they will never forget my generosity. But for me, the real reward is seeing the positive impact that my actions have had on their life. They seem happier, more confident, and more fulfilled than ever before. As for me, I have found a new sense of purpose in helping others. I have always been a successful businessman, but I never really knew what it meant to make a difference in someone's life. Now, I feel like I have found my true calling. I have started to look for other ways to help those in need, and I am excited to see where this new path will take me. The stranger and I have become more than just friends. We have become a support system for each other. We help each other through the tough times, and we celebrate each other's successes. I have learned that true friendship is about being there for someone, no matter what, and I am grateful to have found that with this stranger. As I think about the future, I wonder what the long-term impact of my selfless act will be on the stranger's life. Will they continue to thrive and grow, or will they face new challenges and setbacks? One thing is for sure: I will be there for them every step of the way to support and guide them as they navigate the ups and downs of life. And as I look to the future, I am excited to see what other opportunities will arise for me to make a positive impact on the world. I still remember the day my life changed forever, the day a millionaire bought me my dream house. It's a story I've shared with many, and one that has inspired others to pay it forward. As I look back, I realize that the millionaire's act of kindness created a ripple effect that went far beyond my own life. It's a reminder that our actions, no matter how big or small, can have a profound impact on those around us. I've had the opportunity to share my story with people from all walks of life, and it's amazing to see how it has resonated with them. Some have been moved to tears, while others have been inspired to do something similar for someone in need. The millionaire's generosity has shown me that there are still good people in this world, people who are willing to go out of their way to make a difference in someone's life. The millionaire and I have remained close over the years, and our friendship is a testament to the power of selflessness. We've talked about the impact of his kindness and how it has created a legacy that will continue to inspire others for years to come. He's told me that he's been inspired by my story and that it has motivated him to continue giving back to his community. As I think about the concept of legacy, I realize that it's not just about what we leave behind, but about the impact we have on others during our lifetime. The Millionaire's act of kindness has shown me that we all have the power to create a lasting legacy, one that can inspire and uplift others. It's a lesson that I will carry with me for the rest of my life, and one that I hope to pass on to others. The ripple effect of the Millionaire's kindness has been incredible to watch. I've seen people from all over the world reach out to help others, simply because they were inspired by our story. It's a reminder that we are all connected, and that our actions can have a profound impact on those around us. As I look to the future, I know that I will continue to pay it forward, using the Millionaire's generosity as a catalyst for my own acts of kindness. Years have passed since the Millionaire bought me my dream house, but the impact of his kindness is still being felt. I've been able to help others in ways that I never thought possible, and I've seen the ripple effect of his generosity spread far and wide. It's a legacy that I am proud to be a part of, and one that I will continue to nurture for years to come. The story of the Millionaire and me is one that I will always treasure, a reminder of the power of kindness and generosity. It's a story that has inspired others to pay it forward, and one that will continue to inspire others for years to come. As I look back on the journey that has brought me to where I am today, I am filled with a sense of gratitude and wonder. I know that I will always be grateful for the Millionaire's kindness, and for the legacy of kindness that it has inspired. In the end, the Millionaire's act of kindness has taught me that we all have the power to create a lasting legacy, one that can inspire and uplift others. It's a lesson that I will carry with me for the rest of my life, and one that I hope to pass on to others. The ripple effect of his kindness will continue to spread, inspiring others to pay it forward and create their own legacy of kindness.